Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. This is episode 45. Whew. We had a busy weekend. Brady Kuech, how are you?
Howdy, Matt. Good, man. Yeah, busy as weekend. 4 rounds of disc golf here in the capital, using Hardcore Park and our temporary little pop-up at California. Yeah, it was a fun weekend.
It was. It certainly was. We're going to go into into that tournament in a little bit more detail, including our guest tonight, featured in that tournament, and played very well. We've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to go through some hot scores to kick us off. Go around the leagues that are going on around the country as well. Then we're going to bring on our special guest tonight, who is Victoria Speller, who we'll talk to in a moment. She's going to stay for Desert Island Disc Golf as well. Then Brady and I have got a quick chat about sponsorship this week, which should be quite interesting. So we're going to try and have a look at 2 different viewpoints of team sponsorship there. We're going to do our Wahi Tapu picks for this weekend. My prediction is that the weather's going to be rubbish, but we'll find out who can play best in the rubbish weather a little bit later on, and an update to the power rankings as well, which we'll give you at the end of the show. Okay, so we'll kick off with the hot scores, starting down south in Invercargill, and at Queen's Park, it's Norman Tudor who hits the hot score for the week with a 13 under par. Well done to him. And at Chingford, it's Quinn who hits a 7 under par. At Brockville, the new course in Dunedin, Tom McKay hits -7 as well. And over at Queenstown Gardens, it's Russell King who takes out the hot score with a 13 under par. Up at Tucker Beach, Joseph Berry hits 9 under par. And across to Wanaka, Ely Point, Nick Steenson hits -12. Up at Lismore, Ryan Cambridge back at it. Hits -12 for the hot score of this week. And at the Garden City in Christchurch, Gregor Brosnan hits an outstanding 16 under par at Jelly Park. Across to Brooker, and it's Jeremy Brockenshire who hits 3 under. And Sergei hits a 6 under at Queen's Park Reserve. Brady, take us through the north.
Up to the North Island, we have Sweet Chain's own Brett Carlisle coming with a smoking hot -7. I'm pretty sure that's a PB for him at Berhampore. Over to Koi Koi Reserve on the foreshore, we got Flavio coming in with a -4 for the hot score for the week. Up in Hardcore Park, holding me off at League, we have Chris Sinai coming in with a -7. Sliding up the country again, Palmy, Linkletter, we have Joel Simpson, Brock Frazier, and Ryan Kiddo all coming in at -4 this week in Palmy. Out in Spot Park in Topor, we have Stan Morris on the red course coming in at -3. Stan getting some wood. No golf played up in Inglewood this week. Maybe they were a little bit too hurt from Faultline. Out to Flaxmere and Hastings, we have Anthony Rogers coming in at -5. Out in Tauranga, McLaren's Falls, we have William Hickerson, played with him up at the Extreme. He comes in at -3 with a hot score for the week. In Rotorua, not to be outdone, quite a bit of scores coming in this summer, which is great. Madkinson comes in at -2 for Scion Tree Nursery. Sliding up to Auckland because they finally can get outside. Thank you guys so much for doing the hard yards. So happy that you guys can get out and play again. In Henderson, we have Edwina Madkinson, Nathan Sharp, and Shane Mana all coming in at -2. And then at Rosehill, we have Jason Klein coming in at -6.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Some great golf being played around the leagues. We'll start with the Henderson Midweek League. Justin Workman takes out this week's league round with a 13 under par, beating out Mark Dakiv by 3 shots. And Michelle Simpson takes out the ladies division by 6 shots with a 4 under par. It was the last week of any given Monday. Chris Dixon takes out the final week with a 10 under par, 978 rated. He also wins the tournament overall. So many congratulations to Chris for taking out that division. At the Berhampore 200, 2 players played the Berhampore 200 this week due to most people playing Hardcore Park. Jung took out this week with a +2, getting those all-important league points, which sets up for quite a tasty finish going into the final week this weekend.
I was going to say, but more important of those two players was the ace on hole 9 by Simon Fogarty, bringing
how
home
could I forget?
Full, $86 for the ace prize.
So well done to Simon. He'll be delighted. He just couldn't let Brett Carlisle's ace on Saturday just sit for any amount of time at all, could he? He just had to go one better. At the midweek league at Harcourt Park, Chris Sinai takes it out with a 965 rated, 7 under par. Brady, you were one shot back. 10 birdies isn't enough to take out the win.
Nope.
But I must say, tip of the cap, 10 birdies at Harcourt Park is no mean feat. So very well done.
Yeah,
very well
10
done.
birdies, 11 holes, got 9 through 18. The only one I missed was 17.
And yes, there we go. That's how it is. That's how it is. Right. So through some results, we had 2 tournaments played last weekend. First up, we're going to go down south to the Turepe Tussle. And I'm just going to share the results of that. So in first place, Isaac Sasanuma Howard takes out the MPO division with it came out about 980 rated, I suspect, but 28 down from 2 rounds. I mean, that's insane, isn't it? And Jaden Watkinson narrowly comes in second place with a 17 under par in his final round. That's
show the round scores again.
The round ratings. There we are. Yep.
Yeah.
So 10-15 rating from Jaden Watkinson. So very well done to those two. Beating out John Hughes, who's been on a bit of a heater recently. So well done to them. And in the ladies division, Eilish Kumak takes out the ladies division from the advanced card with a -1. The other event that was played over the weekend was Faultline Fury here in Wellington. And the results for that one are as follows. If you weren't there, it was a topsy-turvy kind of weekend. You had Andy Davie, who had 2 fantastic final rounds on the Sunday, who came through to win. He was in 8th place going into Sunday. Took a 7 on hole 1 in the first round, which really put him back. I think he was even for that round when the leaders were on -4. Did very well in round 3 with a 1021, rated 9 under par and a 982 rated 4 under par. In the 3rd and 4th rounds, respectively, to just pit Bray Marsden by the post. Bray led for much of the tournament, and him and Johnny had a very good fight for a long period of time there. Great tournament, really enjoyed it. Lots of up and downs. We'll get to how it affects the rankings in a bit, and we'll go to the ladies division in a second. But Brady, anything which stood out for you?
Well, I think the big things that I'm kind of noticing between the 2 tournaments is one, they had one tournament in Temuka, which was 28 under par for the winner. Over 4 rounds, it was 13. So no one even came close in the picks. So the idea that everyone was guessing mids. So the wind pretty much affected a great deal of that. It seems like Ashton was the only one who was shooting hot that first day. If you look at the 4 rounds, I only see 2 scores that are over 1,000 rated. There are lots of scores in the 980, 970, 960. So it seems like there's quite a bit of, the competition seems to be a bit tighter. There was a bit more separation, down south. But just good, consistent golf played and won on the weekend. So, Andy got hot on the second day, to bring him the win. And like I said, it came down, like you said, it came down to the very last hole and he needed the birdie to win. Bray pushed him every shot. Stan had the lead for a couple holes in the middle. I pretty much was just trying to hold on to 4th and then slipped into kind of 5th, with an unfortunate bogey kind of on my second to last hole. But that there was battles all over the show. If you scroll down, I think that's actually something we should go down to the advanced division.
Yeah. So we do need to cover this. So Scott Woodhouse won the advanced division with a 3 under par. Looks all fairly innocuous until you look back at these scores, and you realise that after the first day he was leading. He was solo. He had the solo lead by a shot. after
By
playing.
shot, I think it was like 4 shots at least or something.
I don't know. I think it was -5 to. I think it was 5 down compared to 4 down. But he had the lead, having played the reverse of the Open divisions, and it seemed that that was the better way round to play it in terms of the weather and the way in which it turns out. And certainly the ratings, if you compare the ratings of the scores in the first round compared to the second round, then you'll certainly see that. What do we see here? 51 was 963 rated, and 51 was 980 rated for round 2. So it was certainly a lot harder to play in the afternoon on the Saturday at Harcourt Park, and we see the same happen the other way around. Also, shout out to the Masters division. Well done to Ryan Kitto, who had the pleasure of playing on the same card as him for all of Saturday. Shot some very consistent golf and managed to just hold on at the end. Or rather, just pull away there at the end. But I would say a very good showing by Mark van der Post and Team Sweet Chain's Brett Carlisle as well. So very good. And shout out to Brett, who picked up an ace on the first round on hole 9.
Yep. Also, I guess we have to shout out local junior Yuki Shotters, who also got his first ace ever. So Brett's first ace was hole 9 in a tournament. Yuki Shotters' first ace ever was that same hole in the afternoon, hole 9 at Harcourt Park. So yeah, big shout out to both of them. Great to see them playing and that kind of stuff, and to bag their first aces on the weekend. Congratulations.
Yeah, and to see Yuki shooting what he was shooting over the weekend as well. He's 12 years old. Yeah, and to get a first ace at that age, I mean, that's going to hook you, right? So well done to him. Moving up to the ladies division, what we notice is that Victoria Speller took it out by 12 shots in the end, but it wasn't all that easy. She was 9 shots off the lead following the first round, 3 shots off the lead going into Sunday. So had a little bit to do, and she joins us now. So I'd like to welcome our guest at this time. Good evening, Victoria.
Hey guys.
How are you this evening?
Very well, thanks.
How's the recovery / celebrations from the weekend gone so far?
Oh, just kind of straight back into work for me, really. But league night is in Flaxmere here on Tuesdays, so yeah, got to brag a bit.
Yes. Did you win League 2?
No, I didn't play well at all, but.
So
the sophomore slump, as it were.
Yeah.
Talk to us about how your tournament went and how you're experiencing it, because I think, as I said, you started off relatively slow in comparison to some of the other ladies, and sort of sped up as the tournament went on.
Yeah, I had a really rough first round at California. I was trying to pinpoint what happened, really. Maybe it was because I arrived early in the morning to get a lay of the course, kind of parked everything, said, oh, this is going to be easy. Go up there to actually play, and kind of the pressure's on, and fell apart a bit in the morning. But I knew there's 4 rounds of 18, plenty of golf left to play, and just pulled myself together and kept it clean for my last 3 rounds, and that's all I needed to do. So yeah, quite happy with how I played, because I haven't played like Harcourt much, or the California course is new to me. So.
So what's going through your mind then after the first round when you're back at the stage, you're eating your lunch or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself, man, that didn't quite go as how I wanted it to. Now I've got to take on Harcourt Park, right? I've got to go and play arguably the tougher one of the two. In what was still swirling wind conditions, what does the mindset do? How do you reset your mind, as you said?
Yeah, I definitely just tried to take a break, stop thinking about all the bad shots I did in the morning, like I feel like I was while I was playing that round. Reset, get a lot of just intent on each individual shot, and not really think about what my overall score was. And like I said, I hadn't really played hardcourt much, so I was just really excited to be on that amazing course and just wanted to have some fun and do some things that I hadn't done since, because I'm still pretty new to disc golf in general. So I feel like every time I've been back to hardcourt, I've picked up some distance, picked up some new shots. I never really had a forehand last time I was playing there, so just trying to use every weapon in my arsenal to keep it fairly clean.
Well, then how is it competing in advance? So, like there was a little bit of battle between like Minky and Liz in open, but you had a few more competitors in advance, like what was it like competing in that division?
Well, it was really cool, actually. I was happy that there were 10 women playing in the tournament total. I remember last year I went to Faultline. It was my first tournament ever. There was only 5 ladies, so like doubling over a year was just great to play with more ladies. I was just kind of happy to have the company. And yeah, then like my card, or I guess I wasn't really playing with ladies the first day because we weren't seated till the second day, but it was nice to see the ladies crushing it out there.
Not playing with ladies on the first day, does that allow you to kind of play your own game, not think about what other people might be doing, and then that becomes a factor in the second day? Or does actually that have no effect on your game?
I mean, I'm used to playing with guys. So the first day, I was trying not to think about what everyone else was doing, but I actually think at the same time I was kind of playing against myself too much, and that probably got in my head my first round because I wasn't playing as well as I expected myself to play. And then maybe the second day, kind of playing with everyone else, it's a bit more like, yeah, well, everyone makes mistakes, we're all getting bogeys out there as well as birdies. So yeah, maybe that helped me out, actually, playing within my own division.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you say that you're new to disc golf, but like, are you new to frisbees? Like, have you been throwing discs prior to playing disc golf?
No, I'm not like an ultimate person at all. I don't have any endurance. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have been playing casually for almost a couple of years now, so I'm not that new.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, like that badge on the chest, like that you've been catching eyes, and that you're a sponsored player now for Dish Shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been pretty cool to be part of the Dish Shop team. I'm just due to all this fanciness this year.
So we've got a question from Hemi, and it's one that I'd also like to know the answer to as well. After such a convincing win, can you see yourself stepping up to the FPO division for future events?
I don't know. I guess maybe. I honestly haven't really thought about it that much. Yeah, I guess maybe. I don't want to really take any cash if I was to place in FPO, especially if I was going to, visit back home in Canada or, play something in the States. I think I'd just get slaughtered if I committed to FPO over there, perhaps. So, well, I might do a future event in FPO. I'll just keep the amateur status for a while, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so, in terms of golf,
I can get behind that myself.
Sorry, in terms of the golf that you're playing in Hastings, how often are you managing to get out and practice?
Try for once a week. We've got our league nights going on Tuesdays, so that's good. And try to get out most weekends when I can. It's nicer in the summer that we can go like after work. I just have a 9-to-5 job, so not having to be restricted to the weekends is really nice in the summer. So I'm hoping to get out more, practice more. Yeah.
Good stuff. And what's your future sort of events planned? Have you got any on the horizon that you've kind of got your eye on?
Got my eye on nationals.
Absolutely, everyone's got their eye on
nationals. I mean, it's the next big event, I think. So yeah, that's the only one I really have my eye on at the moment. We'll see what the new year brings.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm sure some of the South Islanders might not agree that it's the next big event, but certainly it's a big event that's coming up, and and it's going to be good that it's so close. Being in Wellington as well, it's going to be quite an easy trip for you to make it down. You have you played Berhampore? I don't recall. Did you play Middle Earth Open?
No, I haven't been there.
So quite a different course to take on compared to Harcourt Park then. But yeah, good stuff. And so where do you see yourself in terms of your kind of might be a bit early, or you might not have thought about it, I don't know. In terms of your kind of disc golf career, if you like, what do you want to get out of the sport?
I'd say I don't really have any big aspirations for my disc golf career, as it were. Just personally playing the sport, I have some personal goals I just want to keep improving. I want to get more distance, get more accuracy, get a decent forehand. I'm happy with how my forehand's progressed. I've got a bit of an upshot game with it, but I don't drive with it at all. So I just want to get better for myself and having fun. Yeah.
Very, very good reasons to carry on playing. Absolutely. Good stuff. So let's get to know you a little bit more. We're going to move on to Desert Island Disc Golf. So have you got your discs with you?
I do.
Excellent. Right. Now, the premise for anybody who hasn't watched the show before is that Victoria is stranded on a desert island. Fortunately, there is a disc golf course on this desert island, and she's been stranded with 3 of her favorite discs and 3 of her favorite card mates. Her card mates can be real or fantasy, living or dead. She can know them or she can not know them. But it's her choice. So, Victoria, what are you throwing?
I'll start off with my putter. I chose what I'm putting with currently, EMAC Judge that I got at the Trilogy Challenge this year.
Wow. Okay.
It's been throwing well for me, so I've decided to stick to it. Probably any judge will do, really. But yeah.
Well, I was going to say, were you putting with a judge prior to the EMAC Judge?
No, I've thrown other people's judges and liked them, but I haven't actually owned a regular judge. So yeah, just kind of got this and started throwing it.
From how you remember throwing the other ones compared to that one, then, for anybody who owns a judge, how does the EMAC Judge differ for you?
I mean, I keep thinking it's domier, but then you compare it to it and it's actually not. The plastic's a little different than like the Prime. But honestly, I think it flies pretty similar. I think it gets beat up a lot faster. And
is the bead the same
turns
size,
a bit
Victoria?
quicker. Yeah. The same or a little smaller. I'm not quite sure. People keep saying, there's this huge debate on whether you putt with a bead or not. Honestly, I don't even notice. People keep saying, "Oh, do you like the judges because of the bead?" I don't know. It just feels good.
And that's the most important thing about a putter. Right? You've got to put it in your hand and test how it feels. Some people love a bead. I don't. But and Brady probably does. So it's all a bit different. So yeah, you're in good company, whichever one you prefer. Excellent.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I brought 2 putters. My Envy.
Yes.
I mean,
good
how
choice.
could I not bring it? It treated me so well at Faultline this weekend. And it glows in the dark, so I can play at night on this desert island. There's not much to do. Yeah, great approach disc, nice and glidey. I can kind of do whatever I want with it. Good to suit whatever conditions there may be. But yeah,
I know there's a lot of Envy fans out there. That is superb. When did you pick up that Envy? I'm just trying to work out how old that.
Only a few months ago. It's not that old.
Okay. So it's going to be one of the new MVP Glow, which and their new Glow is fantastic. It's one of the best on the market.
It's so bright. If you can't really play catch with this, it glows so bright it ruins your night vision. You have to.
But if you throw it in a tree, right, then you want it. You want it to glow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not losing this one for a while. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And what are you driving with?
Finally, I didn't go for a big distance driver. I chose my lots.
Yep.
I don't really throw anything more than 10 speed anyways. I feel like I just don't get the benefit out of the extra speed. This one's a little beat in, so I can force it over and it'll hold it, or I can throw it dead straight, or I can give it some hyzer. So it's kind of my most versatile and faithful disc. So
and you've got that in the K1?
Yeah.
And the K1 plastic, I don't know about you, but I think K1 plastic is probably one of the nicest feeling plastics that discs are made in, personally.
Yeah.
How do you... It's I don't know. I think it's fantastic. I do like there's a lot of Castoplast fans out there, and certainly a Lots is a very comfortable disc. What do you find? What if you weren't throwing a Lots? What would you throw, and how does it compare? What's the most similar disc to it that's in your bag? Other than
similar, I'd say the most similar disc would be like a Saint, like an Opto Saint. But I don't actually have one in my bag. I have a really beat-in river. It might compare to that a bit, but I mean, my river is super flippy. And then I've got a newish Sapphire, which throws kind of similar to this when it was brand new. But like I said, this one's a bit more beat-in, so I can do whatever I want with it more.
Fantastic. 3 very interesting discs there, and 3, I think, fairly unique discs. I don't think we've had a Lots. We've had a few Envies, but we haven't had a Lots or an EMAC Judge on the show before. So that's fantastic to see. Excellent. Right, who are your card mates?
All right. Well, I'll start off with an easy one. I'll have to play with Paige Pierce. I mean, her form's perfect in my opinion, and I'd love to learn from her. She seems pretty cool. I'd bring along my partner Josh. He's a good Boy Scout, so he'd get us fire, food, everything you need to just be comfortable.
Nice.
Well, have a feed ready for when you'd finished your round. Is that what's
exactly?
Going on
Yeah.
He's not playing. It's just a Paige and Victoria show. He's at home.
Yeah. Exactly. I was thinking about who else. Someone who'd be a bit of fun probably would be like Kelvin Heimberg. And I'd need Josh there because I feel like he would just like destroy my self-esteem if I didn't have someone who was like similar level to me.
Who you could beat.
Who I could beat. I mean, I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
Shout out to T-Bone. Thank you.
Good stuff. Because and I think Calvin Heimberg, incredibly dry character he comes across, and I think that would be a good laugh. Good stuff. Okay, right. We're going to go through to the quick fire round now. So the quick fire round is as follows. I'm going to go ask you. We're going to go through the family friendly front nine, which is same questions for everybody who comes on the show. Very easy questions. And then Brady's got a safari back nine for you that changes each week, and it's a this or that. There are no correct answers, but we want quick fire replies. So, are you ready?
Yes.
What's your name?
Victoria Elizabeth Speller.
Where were you born?
Hamilton, Ontario.
Where do you live now?
Hastings.
What's your PDGA number?
197166.
Excellent. What's your favorite disc?
My old Diamond, because it's the first disc I could really throw far.
Excellent. Your favorite course?
Taupo.
Your favorite MPO player?
My favorite who?
MPO player.
MPO. I feel like Eagles easy to root for and fun to watch.
And your favorite FPO player?
Paige Pierce.
Fantastic. Excellent. Right, back nine, Brady.
Back nine. Here we go. Waterloo or Swansea?
Water. no one's going to say Lulu, but Waterloo.
Yeah.
Forehand or backhand?
Backhand.
Run it or lay up?
Run it.
Sprint or marathon?
Sprint.
Jam or jelly?
Jam.
Canoe or kayak?
Canoe.
Pancakes or flapjacks?
Pancakes.
Ginger ale or ginger beer?
Ginger ale.
Canada or New Zealand?
Canada.
Ooh. And there we go. That is your back nine. Thank you, Victoria.
Very good. Very, very good. Excellent. Victoria, congratulations once again on your performance at Faultline Fury. Very, very good to win by such a margin. Very best of luck for the rest of this year and going into next year. Look forward to seeing you at Nationals and probably some more tournaments in between. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. It was really nice chatting with you.
Excellent.
Thanks, Victoria.
We'll see you again soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Cheers then.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Excellent. Excellent. Really solid performance over the weekend there from Victoria, Brady.
Oh, it was fantastic. Like we were sitting here thinking that like Amy coming down, who's been on that hot streak all year, or even like Liz or Minky would, like take out the top three. But to be fair, shout out to Leon Krellin from Hastings himself. He called the sleeper pick of Victoria to win it all. So yeah, back in his hometown girl, and she pulled through for him. So congratulations, Leon. Congratulations, Victoria.
Speaking of picks, last week we ran a competition on this show where we said, right, guess the winning score. You can guess the closest person to win to the score wins. We didn't say what the prize was, but you're not allowed to go over. You're not allowed to predict too good a score. The winning score was Andy Davie with a 12 under par. So well done to Andy. However, the closest pick we had was Jack Mocker, who said 18 under par, which means no one wins anything, which is easy. So there we are. So I don't know. Should we roll it over? What do you think?
What should we do it? Yeah, should we? Let's do picks for Ohio. Let's give some shout out and some love. Yeah, for Ohio. What's the winning score for Ohio going to be? What's
the winning score for this? Exactly the same way. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to put in the comments. You need to put in the winning score that at Wahi Tapu for this weekend, the main event on Saturday, Sunday. You can't guess too good a score. So once again, the winning score is 15 under par, and you've guessed 16 under par. Then you're out. Doesn't matter how close anybody else was. You are out. So make sure you don't guess too high. What is the winning score going to be at this weekend's Wahi Tapu? Whilst people are getting on with that, we're going to talk a little bit about sponsorship. Brady, what were your thoughts on this? How do you kick us off for us?
Well, it's one of those, we've been talking over the past couple of weeks about the whole Discmania 1 in 10. And so, like that it was this kind of unique opportunity for 10 individuals playing around the country to get their eyes or get themselves in front of the eyes of sponsorship. And mm-hmm. This sponsorship specifically being overseas of a large manufacturer. And so, like this, as a player who's been around for a while, like it kind of, I was interested for your take on what sponsorship is. So, like for me, I guess I'll chime in a little bit after you, like coming from a player perspective, I guess, but you like have Team Sweet Chain. So, like you're a local retailer in Wellington, like you're supporting players around the country. Like what does sponsorship from a like retailer side of things, from the sponsor side of things mean to you?
So it's an interesting question. I think it's now there's probably two things here that I'd like to cover. The first one is the first one is a kind of the more boring one in my view, and that's on the commercial side, right? By having players up and down the country who rep the brand and wear the shirt. That's hopefully when they're talking to people on the course and talking about future disc purchases, perhaps, that they say, hey, check out Sweet Chain Music. They've got some of that particular mold in, or have a look at the next drop that's coming, or let me know what you're after and I'll see if I can get it in for you. That kind of thing, right? So there's a commercial aspect to it like that exists, and certainly, having players up and down the country and indeed internationally. Remember, we've got 2 players playing in Adelaide, Ben Powley and Alice C, who compete, who are very competitive in the Adelaide circuit. It certainly has that effect. That for me is great, but what's more important for me is and I think something I've tried to focus on with the team, whether or not I've been successful or not is probably not for me to say, but what I've tried to focus on is the idea of being a team and being a group of players with a similar kind of outlook or a similar kind of look on life, and want to get similar kind of things from disc golf, and who all kind of feel in a similar way to me, and want to support each other and want to get on. And that's one of the advantages that we set up. One of the things that we set up for our players. It's not just here, have some shirts and stuff. Yeah, sure. I mean, you get a shirt and a box of little goodies and a mug and stuff and all that kind of stuff. So if you and that's it's great. But what really I think holds some of the value is the idea that you're part of a group of players that you can go to for advice, that you can speak to about disc golf and non-disc golf related stuff, and that you've got an ear and someone who's going to be looking out for you, as well as both on the casual practice rounds that you're doing in the local leagues, but also when it comes to big tournaments as well. The support that we have on our Discord channel, for example, for all of the players that are competing in whatever event you're competing in is great, even to the point of where we share our casual rounds with each other, and the encouragement and occasional ribbing that happens as a result of that is, I think, is holds value. So yeah, that's what we try and do in terms of the deal that players have for Sweet Chain. You get a kit, you get a box of goodies, and you get to buy plastic at a cheaper price than you'd normally buy it. In addition to that, you have a discount code that you can give out to people. They can use it, they get a discount, and the players get a kickback from that discount as well. So there's a financial incentive, but that's not the big focus for me. You also get access to our Discord channel and the support network that's growing. Right, we've got a relatively small team when you compare it to some of the other teams out there. And so yeah, that's for me in a kind of nutshell what we've got, what Team Sweet Chain's about. And personally, I found having a group of people there who can help me test certain things. Certainly when we were getting this show off the ground, it really helped to have a group of players who I could even from testing equipment, from how good did my microphone come through the audio, to things like how should I set up things, to talking points, to how should the show flow, and getting that kind of immediate feedback. I mean, has been very, very useful. So I'm really glad that we've got a team, and I think it's one of the really good things about running a company like the one that I do. What are your thoughts as a player?
Well, one, like, I think it's great. And, like you kind of talked about bringing together, like that team aspect, like in the idea of, especially for you coming from your ultimate background, that's something that you seek. And I would argue that I've had that with both of the teams. Like this was a very big sponsorship year for me, in the fact that, like for the first time, or second time, I guess I should say, I had a small kind of 1-year deal with Vortica, probably 5-6 years ago now. But yeah, like being 1 in 10, like that I could go down to nationals this year in Paradise, I can match up with with Willie T, one of my Discmania mates, like from the 1 in 10, and we played doubles together. And that was so much fun. I always loved playing with Willie T. Like the fact I got to play with him again at Faultline, like again, going down to nationals, like here I am, like being kind of well out of my comfort zone or out of, like my home courses and that kind of stuff, like in catching up with Andrew for the first time and playing with him for the first time as Team Sweet Chain, like was a lot of fun. And so I guess one of the big things for me, like as a player and getting sponsored, is it's a little bit of like validation and like recognition, like that it's like, oh, hey, look, like all this hard work is for something. People are seeing what I'm doing. Like I like the fact that as part of the Discmania 1 in 10 and also kind of part of Team Sweet Chain. For me personally, like the idea that the stuff that I'm doing off the course and like who it matters as much, if not more than like what I'm doing on the course. So that idea of like, oh, hey, look, I'm a great player, like, look, I'm a top 10 player, like I'm competing for wins and events. But also, oh, hey, look, I'm running tournaments. Oh, hey, look, I'm organizing leagues. Oh, hey, look, like I'm a board member at a local club. Like that all of that kind of like factors in. So yeah, like I definitely think that there's nice bits of a sponsored player of, like that kind of recognition, both on and off the course of like what you're doing, like there's that team aspect of, like, oh, hey, look, like I get to catch up with people and it's really nice when I can do that around the country. Like it's one of the things that I've always stressed, like the community aspect, especially in New Zealand and in the disc golf scene, has always been very important to me. And so to kind of get, like kind of have a deeper connection with a few folks who are on my team has been really nice. So yeah, like, and of course, when you lose this and you need to get good plastic, or, the idea of, especially for me, I've had to change my bag this year, like I'm pretty much full. All but one disc now is all Discmania, like it's taken me like 11 months, but I finally got there. Like it's been helpful of like getting new plastic and new drops. And it's like, oh, hey, look, this disc is beat in. I need something more stable, being able to kind of get a discount, or in my case where color is really important because I'm colorblind. And so being able to pick a yellow or a white disc is important to me. And so it's kind of hard if I'm like, okay, let's order something online and hope that I get something I can see. It's not always the case. So it's nice to kind of have like first pick and have that kind of insider knowledge. Like it's been nice for me from like a personal standpoint as a player. Can you share, I think Leon NZDSS, whether it's Leon or Phil, one of the boys had laid a comment down because they've, like I'd argue there are some really good things coming out of the teams in New Zealand. So yeah, like as Matt kind of talked about, like of showcasing the brand, but also to push people forward and give them support. I know that NZDSS is really famous. Same with Small Planet, that for tournaments, they'll have like the NZDSS house, like they'll have the Small Planet house. So, the idea of making it easier, of coordinating, like just the logistics of it, like traveling around the country is going to get really hard as tournaments start to become like 3 days and 4 days going forward. So that idea of like having a home base, it's like, oh, sweet, I just show up at the airport and, like my team captain, my team coach, like my sponsor is going to handle picking me up from the airport and getting me to the course and like working with, like putting a roof over my head for the weekend. I think that's super huge. And so like, I love, like what I've seen out of that, like Team Small Planet is now Team Innova. I think that they've done really well about kind of slowly growing their team and supporting people throughout time. Like it's great. Chris Dixon is honestly a great example of that. He's been one of the best lefties in the country for a long time. He's been competing for battles and titles like all over the place. And he's taken a bit of a backseat with, like running arguably like the best craft beer house in Queenstown, if not all of the South Island. Altitude's probably going to fight them for that too. But they've supported him through all of that, like, and now he's back on tour and he just won the Struggle Street League, which I think is awesome. So, like it's definitely good to see kind of the legacy of some of these now, like that there are people 5-6 years into the game who are still sponsoring stuff, or even Dish Shop, now sponsoring like Victorian sponsoring players around the North Island or South Island. I just saw, I think Chris Corbin's down helping out at Woodhouse, like he's a Dish Shop member. So it's good to kind of see all of these little places getting around and how that helps players just compete and kind of build and strengthen that community and the bonds between everyone.
Yeah. And so, because we didn't have a team in the first year of setting up Sweet Chain, which brings me on to a second point, actually, which we'll come to in a moment. It's a kind of a small point, but it's a little bit of an indulgence from me.
You're allowed, Matt. You're allowed.
and we didn't have one for the first year, and then in January launched it, and it's I think it's gone really well. And so if you're out there and you're thinking, hey, I'd love to be part of a team like Sweet Chain, then get in touch. We are always on the lookout for ambitious, dedicated disc golfers who want to be part of something good and want to do good both around in their community and for their own game. And if you think that that's you and you like the kind of things that we do, then give us a shout. We'd be keen to hear from you. My little indulgence was that on Tuesday of this week, was it Tuesday? Monday of this week, sorry. We turned 2 years old. We launched 2 years ago in 2019, about 3 months before a global pandemic that just exploded the popularity of the sport. So you could say that it was relatively foresightful to set it up at that time. However, I'd be lying if I did say that. But yeah, anyway, that's us. That's us and sponsorship. So yeah, I think it's really important, really important part of the game. To be honest, and I think that it's great to see so many teams in New Zealand start to develop that kind of thing. So yeah, good stuff. Right, now we have a tournament this weekend. Wahi Tapu is on. Now, looking at the weather forecast, I'll be honest, it looks a little bit wet. Take your gumboots and your brolly, because I think it could be, it could
not
be
a little bit, like a lot bit,
like lots, on the Saturday especially. It might come down a bit.
Well, it's one of those insider knowledge from a leak, I guess. I don't know, a spy that I have on the South Island was saying it could be wetter than Temuka.
Oh, really? And
so it's going to be somewhere between Fling and Temuka, is what I've heard.
And Temuka, that got canned after like 2 rounds or something, didn't it? Because of the weather. Let's hope that it can run off.
Well, Temuka, was more of, they got heaps of rain at the course, but it was more of the entire region was getting dumped on. I think it's going to be a little bit more isolated to Woodhouse, so we're really interested to see how the weekend's going to play out. But yeah, I think our picks for this week, we might have to think about who can play good in bad weather.
Yeah, and I'm seeing lots of big numbers come through in the guesses, so that's interesting. What I would say though, with all seriousness, please take care when you're getting to and from the course. We don't want anybody to be stuck on any kind of bits of ground that aren't very good, and make sure you can get dry and have a hot shower at the end of each day, and that you can get home safely after the tournament as well. Very important, far more important than disc golf, is that you get home.
Well, I was going to say, Woodhouse has great vibes. So the idea of, it's a little skiing village, it's a ski lodge. So the idea that everyone gets to crack into a beer. Thank you, Altitude. I know that you're supporting Woodhouse in a great way again this year with a new hazy that they came out with. So everyone literally just gets to go up to the chalet, like crack a few beers, have a hot shower, and hang out for the evening. It's a real good kind of destination vibe, destination tournament, as it were. So thankfully they don't have to drive very far, but it also means that that hot shower after 18 holes is going to feel great.
I bet it will. Right. Picks. Where do you want to start?
Well, I want to start with the ladies, but I also noticed that there's a lady's name at the top of the advanced column.
I didn't think you'd spot that, but you did. So how does that affect your picks? Top 3 ladies overall. What are you going with?
Third place, I'm going to go with Casey Brown. I think she's going to kind of have some fun this weekend. Casey Brown always has a smile on her face, so I think she's going to kind of be my little sleeper pick for bronze. So she'll finish third. I think I saw Amy play weather good. She finished 4th overall at Faultline. She's been playing well. She played well at Extreme, so I think that Amy might take out the advanced women. But I do have to pick Haley as number 1 overall, even though she's playing in advanced, for the number 1 woman on the weekend.
Yeah.
Who do you got,
In third place, I've got Echo Lee taking in some form from Tarapi Tussle. And then in second place, Amy Whitmore. And then in first place, Hayley Flintoff coming through. Now, I suspect that our MPO picks might be slightly different. So I'll go first.
Do it.
In fifth place, I've got Bray Marsden. I think that he can take some form from Hardcore Park and Faultline, and he played very well over that weekend. Showed some very good discipline and some good control in what were quite testing conditions. So I've got him coming in fifth place. Fourth place, Ryan Cambridge. He's been playing very well all season. Ranked, I think, 8th in the country currently. And doing very well. Third place, David Keane. I think he came second. Was it at the at what was the event a week or so ago?
Oh, Tucker Beach Rush.
Tucker Beach,
or not the Rush,
the
Summer Tuckers or whatever it was.
Yeah, on the dunes or whatever it was. Yeah, third place there. Second place, Ashton Clark. Again, another good showing from someone who I think plays well in has shown actually he can play well in pretty much any kind of course and any kind of conditions. First place, Mikey Yu for me.
Ooh.
So what do you got?
Jeez, man, you're not playing with Bray, dude. Like, I don't think you're giving him enough credit. Fifth place, we'll go. Let's go with Johnny Ferrari. He's been playing well. I played with him at Fling last year, so I think he's just all around solid player. He'll take fifth. Let's go. Yeah, I'll drop David Keane down. David Keane's going to be in fourth. So I think that. Again, he just kind of plays well, solid player. Shouldn't be affected too much by the wane. It's more of how's he going to be feeling on Sunday. I know that he enjoys a drink, and I suspect that hazy's going to be alluring to him. Third place, Ryan Cambridge. Yeah, he's been playing hot. I like picking him. I'm going to cheat. Ashton Clark and Bray are tying for second. I think the weather might get to Bray, but he's been playing hot and he was playing super solid and comfortable. I know he's been practicing the couple bits this week that he was struggling with at Faultline. I think Ashton, again, is going to be playing and he'll probably be competing for the win. It'll be, can he hold in the weather? But yeah, I have to agree with you. Number one overall, it's going to be Mikey. He just, for whatever reason at Woodhouse on these short little technical courses, rain or shine, Mikey does really well. So I think he's had a real quiet season this year. I think he's going to kind of want to kind of finish with a bang, like him to go out on top. So yeah, I'll pick Mikey Yu also for number one.
Excellent. And with no Dom Hayden and no Jackson Sullivan, who finished first and second respectively last year. Second and first respectively last year. And
Dom would be my sleeper. So you can't rule him out. It'll be interesting to see how he does in the weather. And yeah, you can never rule Dom out. So he'll be my sleeper 7.
Okay. I'm just checking the entry list actually to see. I couldn't see his name previously, but no,
Dom. Yeah, Dom was there.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. No. Yeah, I spotted him. So best of luck to all of to everybody who's playing this weekend, particularly the Wellingtonian Mitch Hudson, who's heading down. So best of luck to Mitch.
Also, good luck to Flexline Media, who will be covering what could be potential wet weekend. So electronic gear in the wet should be interesting.
Yeah, and that means we've got 2 tournaments to look forward to. Both the Bros for Change Chains Charity Classic, presented by Bros for Change, and now Wahi Tapu as well to look forward to. Right, let's go through to some rankings.
Do we have any big changes after Faultline?
Yeah, there's been a couple.
Did you?
Sorry, go on. Say again.
Did you include Temuka in your power rankings?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, so the Tarapi Tussle has been included. And what we can see is that in the ladies division, Victoria Speller climbs 5 places up to 10th place. And in the men's division, Andy Davie climbs 3 places up to 5th. And in the dominance indexes, he's very close to Simon Feasey in 4th. Ryan Cambridge climbs 2 places to 8th. And Bray Marsden, 38 places to 17th. Due to his 2nd place. Also, honourable mention to Stan Morris, who climbs 11 places up to 20th, following his 3rd place finish.
Yep, it was Stan. I was hoping that my 5th place would be enough to climb in. I knew I was at 24th last week, so I was like, oh, maybe. No dice.
Just outside at this stage. So very well done to everybody who got a bump. Plenty of the top 20 playing in Ohio this weekend. So
I was going to say, according to the power rankings, if we trust your data analytics team, they would be picking Ryan in 1st, Ashton 2nd, Mikey you 3rd, David 4th, and then Bray in 5th.
Yeah. So we shall have to see how the power rankings do. On the subject of the power rankings, because I know you're all thinking it, in terms of the how well did it do at predicting Faultline's result. Of the 48 male players who had played a previous event, it predicts I measure two things in the algorithm. One is its accuracy in predicting players who finish in the top half, and its accuracy in predicting players who finish in the top 10%. Okay, so in terms of Faultline, it would have been the top 5 and the top 24. Of the top 5, it correctly predicted 2, which is about on average. It normally gets about 2 or 3 right. Slightly below.
Little low.
Out of the 24 players that it predicted, out of the players it predicted to finish in the top 24, it got 22 of them right.
Whoa!
The only 2 players it didn't see was Scott Woodhouse and Mark Clement. Were the only 2 that it didn't see from outside the top 24, finishing the top half. So it's relatively accurate at that kind of level. But yeah, we shall see how we get on. Anyway, that's all we have time for today. As I said, very best of luck to everybody who's going to Ohio. Stay safe, stay dry, and enjoy yourself. For everybody else, have a great week. Play some disc golf, get some birdies, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Peace.